Ladies and gentlemen, behind me, we were back again with another SWL cast. I'm going to be your host, your caster, and your observer for the day. I am going to be Sino. I hope you guys are having a great day, but we're kind of accelerated here. I'm very sorry for the 12-minute delay, but without further ado, we're going to get straight into the action. You guys are going to be missing nothing, so we'll be right back in a second. As we are nice and easy right back in, we've already received our first ban. So with that being said, that means I'll get out of your way for now. And as we let our bans slowly trickle in, let's talk about the maps that were banned to get us all the way over here onto the prestigious map itself, Nighthaven Lab. So a lot of very nice maps got taken out very early, and a lot of shit maps got taken out late. Not supposed to swear, but that's exactly what happened. You never really see Layer get survived this long alongside with Constant Sky, but now it has taken us to Nighthaven, which is a great map for a best of one series. So that is going to be the name of the game for today. On the left side, you will have God's Favor. On the right, you will have VoiD. Should be a great game today. I'm excited. You should be excited. And we should be getting right into it. Having defense in your hand for the first round is also a very fun thing to have, and considering my oh wow, you just like trolling me. Don't care, just switch you to white. Considering you have defense first on the board in a map such as Nighthaven, you have the possibility to take a run here with the lead and just take it as an advantage and just consider it your map once and for all. But it comes with a certain struggles, such as how can we hold certain areas of the map and how can we lock certain areas down to be able to adapt it and win us the round. So far, you need good operators on the board to be able to do so, and right now you see Mira coming in. She's going to be the man or the woman herself to be able to lock it down and get those one-way angles. You'll have the Mute and the Jaeger to team up to take care of any Flores, drones, or projectiles trying to hunt down the Miras. Observation blocker is very useful, and it's all about what you do with this electrical wall, or the connector wall, if you like to call it. Do you reinforce it or do you leave it for a rotate? And so far, we've been seeing teams reinforce it fully off to not give the attackers full control once they get this wall, or we've been seeing them let it stay open and get very aggressive to not even allow the attackers to come in from the meeting side. Early engagement here, as not reinforcing, is going to have a very big pain. Luckily, we'll survive. No dock to get him back that HP he's just lost, but Thatcher will deal some. No wall deny waiting for them on that connector breach, and so far, it's all quiet. As I say, so far, it's all quiet. They have ran the Mira strat from 1935 by putting a C4 on the wrong side and detonating it, taking out the thermite. Luckily, they still have the ace on the other side of the map ready to take responsibility and get himself his own breaches. But wow, what a first pick. And that is a mental chalk of doom. I could never imagine how you feel with that happening the first round. Rightfully so, we see a disconnect. And the breach gets open with almost no contest, as there's only that mute as the wall deny. And so far, they're just going to be trying to get the necessary pushes done here, as one breach has gotten open and the second is shortly to follow once they start entering the building. Thatcher is going to be tasked with finding the entry pick here because they need a pick to even out the leveling. That's exactly what will happen, but it'll be DCAC to catch Cap on the roam or through the floor here and catch the Jaeger off guard. That's the kill needed to even out, and now finding meeting is the next objective that'll allow them to make their way into sight. Mute here has the ability to deny any of the attackers trying to walk in. He has a shotgun, a C4, and all the utility needed. But the question is, can he do it before he gets his head chopped off his body? And I guess we'll find out shortly, as he blanks the Thatcher somehow. Miraculously, he walks away with 100 of his health, even though he's gotten sprayed. And now the engagements are all going to boil down to electrical, really, as the Ash has doubled around and looked for it. Trippin taking damage from the SMG-11. No blanks from him this time, in the smoke, or the mute in this case, is going to try to get very aggressive here, but Thatch will be there to capitalize, and he will get the refrag instantly. But he himself will get finished off. No double chances, but it will be the man Irish himself to find that refrag yet again. They're down on the differential, but they still have a very possible res here. Mira no C4 in the hand, so she cannot get aggressive. Free fire here from the Ash. Could have caught a man off guard, but DK, you can't walk in front of the man's bullets. He'll beam you down. And now stuck all by herself in the HF. Frost getting backed up, left in a 1v3. Eased up the pressure from Raptors. Nobody in IT has the ability to clutch this here, as one of the players here is lower than 20 HP, trying to isolate a plant. But it will be the Ash. DK claim the life and call the round in the favor of VoiD. Beautiful round and a beautiful recovery by losing your thermite first. What a round. I'm sorry, I can't do the zoomed in operators thing anymore. I need to turn this down. Absolute troll having that at 100. Oh, that's so much better. I couldn't deal with it. We get taken into the next round with the same exact roster. This time, Brava gets subbed out for the IQ. Irish had a very essential pick here by essentially loosening up the defense by taking care of the man on Rafters. So far, we are going to go back downstairs. No mirror is going to be integrated into the site setup, and a verticality setup is going to be the next objective. Usually with no Goyo, it is a little bit more difficult to hold this, but you do see defenders pop this hatch, get the garage wall, and wait for the attackers to push upstairs, as verticality, roam clear operators are needed. And a full extend out into billiards and games is also going to be a lot more challenging for the attackers to take in a timely manner. So far, you don't have the verticality needed, as Irish hears me apparently and switches to singular soft breacher by the name of Ram, and Chill switches off the 6-pick buck onto IQ. First castle seemingly getting burned very easily, as DK does have those projectiles needed. Drones do need to fly in as well, get that intel needed. But the first pick will eventually go into the favor of Carnifex. He'll catch a man off guard. Aruni being brought, very controversial operator being integrated into the rosters. Omerta being the next to take the gunfight, trying to prone on the ground, but you can't catch a man unexpected, as the Irish will level the playing field yet again. No verticality in his hands this time, but we'll just try to walk down here, as there's only one man waiting for him in the site. There's no feet holes. He'll have to seek asylum by finding this headshot of finding that bandit in the corner. 2 flashes in the pocket. Plenty of utility. Apparently no utility needed for him. He's not going to use those rams. Those lawnmowers really needed. The boogie drones are going to stay up. And Carnifex will get his double kill. Ram just making her way into sight. Who is here to find him? And right now, just tearing from within, Cap. Lower than 50 HP, being forced out the corner, but the defenders have managed to adapt on the other side of the map. The man tried to walk into sight, and his teammates got massacred on the other side, catching the man proned. But you haven't heard the damage being dealt here, and he'll finish you off, and that's Cap on his first kill. The E-sub himself will get a kill, and that is the first round in response by God's favor. Beautiful recovery round and a beautiful response coming here from God's favor will allow them to get themselves on the board. And you do want to essentially stack up on all the defender-sided rounds you can get, especially on a map such as Night Haven. It's not a map you want to play around with, especially against a team such as VoiD. They can bring it back. They can do everything, especially when their teammate isn't at 35,000 ping, and that's exactly what's needed to be able to take a game home and get those very valuable points here. So far, they're going to go for the same exact setup, this time going for the corner build Miras. Having one playing off the wall to face into electrical, deny that pressure that they were so immensely immersed into very early on into the round. when they were being attacked upstairs, and the second going down onto the connector breach. Very vulnerable in this position, as there's no Jaegers that you can see inside of connector, ready to catch the mirrors off guard. Breach this time will get opened up with no hesitation. No mirror C4 to be denied this time, and the Monty is going to be looking to take Raptors control. Aside from the heavy bombardment of Frost Mats and the F-Knots all over Garage, it should be a very easy take here, as there's no mirror to deal with, but you will have the Jaeger sitting close. One essential shotgun to deal with here, and looking at the other side of the map, you'll see the other attackers start to try and defend and lock down connector side. Mute forced off right back into electrical, and we've seen the first gunfight occur right here the last time, as he gets very aggressive very fast. C4 will down DK, but the question is, can he find the finish, as the Thermite's going to be there for a refrag. This is exactly what you want from a teammate. The cohesiveness to be able to find the refrag, especially when you go down a body. And right now, VoiD is going to be the team that comes out victorious when it comes to terms of finding a refrag. Carnifex sees the head, trying to execute here, but it is patience. But what a whiff here as he proceeds to miss every bullet fired, and Stingray's gonna keep tearing from within the site. And what a blunder of a refrag to be able to get his team on the board, but so far no bueno. But it'll be Big Stingray to get his kill and go down later in the round. Cap to get the other refrag. It'll be a 3v3, 3v2, as the bodies have been completely tossed from down 2 bodies now to up 1. And what a recovery coming in here from God's favor. And now they have the ability to just relax. Omerta is vulnerable to a single shock from the Twitch drone. He'll be able to find a kill here. Can he find the man circling around from CC as well? Find the Fenrir, and you have full control into sight. And he seemingly has been waiting all the wrong moments to check that corner as he turns and drifts his attention away. But quick reaction, DKAG has the general location here of the Fenrir, and it's now all about doubling up, finding your kills, and making your way into the site. Fenrir making his location known. Why pre-fire randomly if it's gonna get you killed? And Mute forced into a very bad, sticky situation with no C4, and he has literally nothing to do except for hope to God he can land a shot, and that's exactly what he'll do. 1 HP, and it's a game of happy feet, twinkle toes, who can stay lighter on their feet when it comes to quick peeking. And he has to get the res off, and he's sticking it right now as he'll get the 1. The question is, can Omerta find the 2nd? He's at 1 HP, and the recoil control just isn't good enough, and the crosshairs right above the Mute's head. Very sleek clutch here to send him into the next round with the advantage of 2-1 on defense. What a first round from VoiD. They've been able to build off the refrags here from God's favors mistakes, but they haven't been able to get that final footing to be able to find that nail in the coffin to be able to confirm the round. Zofia being integrated. Is the 6th pick going to be used? We're going to see the verticality hold here. Castle needs to be integrated, especially on this site, because if you don't bring him, the site just has too many open windows, and if you allow Billiard's control to be taken, then you just have too much pressure to deal with, and the castle essentially will relieve the defenders of that pressure until those barricades get ripped down. Sincere again almost meeting his maker for the 2nd time, trying to get ballsy with either a reinforcement or the placement of utility. Buck trying to get aggressive here, but the Vulcan hasn't been fully placed, so he'll be safe to be able to play as aggressive as he wants. Garage Breach right now is the main focus for the attackers, as it will allow them to connect every single site with a singular breach to be able to watch the crosses. But Goyo taking his own damage from his own Vulcan canister, and so far the defenders are starting to lose a lot of utility, and very rapid, may I add. Electrical and connector push is going to be the main idea here to be able to assume control of verticality. Thermite's going to seem to be contesting and going for it as well, as he's not going to even try to go for the garage wall. checking the guaranteed corners here and might be able to find a frag if the man himself just walks right in between his eyes and gets the bullets. But Sincere will see the crosshair first, and that's why you can't go upside down outside. You're put at a disadvantage automatically just because of the shades and the amount of obstacles in between you and the crosshair of the opponent. And Trippin will pay the price sincerely. Luckily, again, there is a hard breacher that isn't the thermite to be able to open up that garage breach. All hell here for VoiD as they're starting to lose so many bodies, even out of sight when they need them now. The seconds have been burned, a minute 30 off the clock, and right now they're having a hard time just getting upstairs and getting things done. It's a lucky wallbang here. A spray of hope will connect with the head of Irish, and that's your Twitch gone as well. You have the Ash and the Buck, two soft breachers here that essentially need to win 5-1s in a minute. Not the best of situations here from VoiD, as the double teams are just something you have to expect to happen. And DKEG left all the way by himself in IT with the diffuser, and he gets his head taken off by the sentry, and that is a recovery to speak of, as it's 3-1 now for God's favor. DKEG having a game to speak of right now with one of the best track records in match. 6-3 next to his name, but only one round to show for it. He's been left in 2 1vx's so far and hasn't been able to capitalize on both. But again, we're really early into the stages, so it's all about what can he do to get that next foot forward, because right now his team is struggling to see what to do to get that next foot forward. Basement's going to be the site again. They won it a couple of rounds ago, and that allows them to go all the other sites until 3 rounds have passed, and it will unlock the basement with the parameters again. Right now, we've seen the castle get integrated into the vert and get them extended all the way out into billiards without having to fear getting shot from certain areas of the windows. And right now, it's been working in their favor. Quick recoveries here from their gunfights, and they're able to double on to VoiD players and not allow them to isolate the ones, which we know they're just so good at. They're so good at getting their ones there. We just know the team that is able to catch them off guard and be able to make them take a 2v1 or a 3v1 where they just can't isolate is going to be the team that'll take them down. Again, one man has been assigned to site and the others have been just playing soft breach. Having this hatch open allows you to keep unanimous control of Animus without risk. And the Buck will try to go for an entry upstairs. DZ will find the first kill and find Irish, and Maverick is going to be very aggressive here as well. Gotta drone the corners when there's a vigil to deal with. Maverick seemingly trying to creep down CC stairs and is going to have to deal with a bunch of players, but this vigil's just not going to be one because he seemingly put his headset on backwards and gets shot very easily. Sincere taking some damage from a wallbang, and the Malusi just waiting here for the refrag. Carnifex just needs to pull the trigger as he walks into the crosshair. Maverick essentially just does all the work for him and will get him the refrag. DKEG looking here for another refrag, but they know aggression is the main idea because you cannot allow them to hold verticality as you did the last time before. It's too much pressure here all over the site and all over the map to be able to wait as long. But you're going to let Carnifex get 2 before he goes down. And that's a beautiful hold on the verticality. And if the castle can find a frag here, it would have been beautiful and perfect as it would have isolated down to a 3v1, but it's just not possible. But DKEG shortly looking to meet his makers. He gets beamed down by the MP7 at range. And there's a minute 25, and they're getting forced right back down to site. And this would be the perfect time to reset. But second call is to be used soon after the drone will follow. A double here. Sincere just still has so much time to waste. So much things to do here as the attackers haven't assumed control of that second floor completely yet. And that's something that's very crucial to be able to get your way into sight. They could just creep down cargo, but you have Cap with the C4 in hand, just relaxing in sight because there's nothing to do rather than wait. One more round shy away from the attacker-defender switch, and right now, you have VoiD in a very, very risky position here of losing the round. Not opting to use the DMR, but essentially using the exothermic, surprisingly, to get Animus hatch open, and now opening up the second. Goyo in a position to punish. Same with Cap. C4 in hand, pillar C4. Goyo's stacked up on both doors. Animus is essentially a death trap that they're gonna have to eat, and DKAG is not the man to be going for that job. Goyo getting him down to 1. DKAG is 1 by himself. He knows he cannot push through the Volcan canister, and the man sitting prone himself will be sincere to get the refrag, to get a second, third, fourth. It doesn't matter what he does in between the rounds because he's just frying second floor, third floor, in the basement. It'll be sincere to just punish VoiD players all over the map to send them to their last defensive round with a 3-round advantage. What we essentially thought was going to be a very VoiD heavy game has just turned into God's favor. And it looks like God is favoring them. They're looking to win every gunfight. And here, the beautiful display of teamwork is so apparent. It's so visible that they practice these strats. And they goes through certain motions that just scream teamwork. VoiD down 3 rounds. We've seen worse in comebacks, but they have somewhere to start. And it's not a great place. 1 round, 2 of the X's to deal with. And so far, they need this next round to make it a little bit easier on the soul when defending, because a 5-1 lead, rather defense or attack, is just not somewhere you want to be. The Fenrir and Frost link up is what we've been seeing very often. The FNOT's just surprise, and the Frost just deliver that final blow that not a lot of people really be expecting here. But seeing those unexpected roamers with the backup roamers right behind them is just something that we've been seeing punish the attackers a lot. Seeing right now, the defenders are just locked away in sight with a singular roamer being the man Cap himself. Nothing much to do here, but just sit, relax, and wait. Quick surprise here from the Buck to try to catch the Fenrir off guard, but Carnifex is smarter than falling to this. Right now, it's just all quiet as they're all just trying to get the breaches open, the jammers out the way, and trying to find the apparent roamers. Next job on the list is how do we get rid of this Mira? Right now, the only viable option is a Selma or having DKAG go in from below and play verticality. Only problem with that is you have Cap lurking downstairs and just waiting to punish somebody. If he stays quick on his feet, he's able to get some punishment done. And DKAG missed drone in the first half, but now finds the man. And Cap is now the next obstacle to clear to be able to assume verticality. And right now, Cap just playing very aggressive here. Thermite seemingly getting beamed here, and all he has to do is just delay and allow his teammates to get to him and get up. But guess what? He's getting aggressive, trying to win the gunfight. DKAG won't go down shortly after that, as the refrags are just not there. It's falling all over the map. It's just not working for them as they're all falling, and it's a 5v3 in a 4-1 scenario where they can essentially just wait. The Miras are going to stay up for the rest of the round unless you have everybody else waiting in the site. And the pressure coming in here from the attackers needs to be faster, quicker, stronger, and more coordinated. But Chills hears me, deletes one, and can he find the next, as that FNOT is going to be wasting so much time. And it's going to be beaming, but another Equin kill. It'll be big Stingray to find the refrag to even it out for a short amount of time, but it'll be DZ to keep swinging from within. Flores trying to light the pistol up, but right now to no avail as he'll fall shortly, down but not out. But Frost is just a terrorist from within and terrorizing the other team, as the triple kill coming in here from DZ will allow the next round on the 5-1 differential here to allow VoiD to go down 4 rounds. Not the best of scenarios you want to be in when you switch to defense. You're in a better situation now that you're allowed to defend a map such as Nighthaven, but you need to show better cohesiveness. Call a timeout. Talk about how you want to get your points down, but right now, VoiD is struggling. Same essential lineup coming in here from VoiD. Very comparative to God's favor, but now, instead of a wall deny, or not bringing a wall deny, my mistake, they will bring the Kaid to deny the breaches, and the Mira would seem to not go on the connector wall. So far, we just have to see how they'll set up, and we'll get into that shortly after they get into the action phase. Only 35 minutes in match, and 20 of those have been the wait, or 10 of those have been the waiting screen, and 20 have been action. Right now, they need to do something to respond, but no jammer to respond as it's only tucked in. Are they gonna waste an EMP here? Thermite easily opening up this breach. No contest, and just edging us. Like, what is the guy doing? DZ just detonate the EXO. Maverick working his way to get any cheeky kills here from the breach, and a blitz will be brought for the first time. Blackbeard has taken the ban, but Monty and Blitz are still available. So far, we need to see more shield play, and right now, it will be God's favor to bring it first. C4 rains out. They'll get the breach open, and the second breach will get open shortly after. Connector and IT have both now been open season for the attackers, and Goyo being stuck in this corner. Drone 5 centimeters and divided by a wall to be able to get a kill here, but a one tap from Frost will quickly deny the idea of having a full attacker taken. Goyo seeking refuge from that rotate and narrowly escaping death, as now VoiD will have the advantage, and all they have to do now is just hold on to it. Thermite just walking in here. Bullets apparently mean nothing to him. Apparently he thinks they're marshmallows. Tries to walk in past them, but will get absolutely pissed on from the glitch. Blitz had a very easy kill, but proceeded to run away at Mach 10. No refrag was waiting for him, but apparently he was to see. Carnifex to find one, but instantly traded out. DKEG finally responding. This is the most we've seen VoiD respond. This is the most VoiD type of round we've seen. And right now, their attitude are looking much better. Bullets seemingly just getting raided and bombarded by all of the defenders is going to lead to his death. And a 1v3 will allow Maverick to start baiting out his kills. Seemingly waiting and waiting and waiting. A 1v2, very winnable, but you're completely unaware as to the man sitting right close to you in the corner. 30 seconds left on the clock, and Maverick just needs to take one bullet here from the TC. Close flash, but you can get shot by either or angle, as this is nearly uncontestable, especially when you're below 30 HP. And that will be VoiD finally to get their round on the board, giving them 2 in total. They have absolutely done a beautiful job on defense, showing us why they want to be here. A little bit of a shaky start here to their first round, or the second on attack here, but they have to do something to show us why they want to hold on to that lead. VoiD is not a team you want to give that leeway to be able to bring a comeback, but seeming as they're not going to be bringing a castle or extending too far upstairs, they have the ability to make them hurt in certain areas. Garage breach with the exception, and the Animus hatch soon to be popped, with the roaming players having a hold on the Animus breach and garage, but seemingly leaving lounge completely open, as the billiards breach will stay closed, unreinforced, and open for completion and conquering by the attackers. A 5-man push here into the main breach will seem to be the main idea, but the double Goyo, again, is just not going to be something that will make that possible. Replay C4 is going to claim the life of the Maverick here if detonated. Maybe another collateral damage, as all that is needed to be done is just a shot. But the Maverick getting aggressive here and trying to get the breach open. He'll successfully get rid of an electric wire. Carnifex finding the man himself. Frost trying to get aggressive, in the C4 from Bandit seemingly going to get shut down by the EMP, and one side will get open as the other will take effect and fall to the electric shock wires. Bandit assuming the position of the Pixel Peak, and two people have assumed the positions of sight, with the Goyo being across the map and the Vigil nowhere to be found. Killing his own teammate with a C4. Carnifex on a double. Irish getting down to 5 HP, but narrowly again escaping death. Trying to rotate back down. And the push from Warehouse, I don't know how he hasn't gotten taken off the board, but having a Blast as the cover is just a confirmation of this round. There's no C4. And right now, Chills has about 30 obstacles standing in his way, and getting that man with the diffuser and make that 35 as the shield will seemingly be in the way if Monty were to extend or get aggressive. But none of that, as Sincere will get overly aggressive and meet his maker very quickly. Mute guessing and checking because you can't see through smokes, but guess what? Glass is a thermal scope. He's gonna get aggressive as well. What are we seeing here? And Omerta will win the one, no matter thermal or not. The smoke doesn't save him in this situation, but he'll still lend the shot to confirm the kill and give match point in the favor of God's favor. It's favorception. Solid round here from God's favor. They heard me apparently and applied the criticism in a singular round. And that is the swarming of the map. And that's what we're talking about. If you don't have the grasp on a certain area or a certain place on the map, you'll lose it. And alongside with that, the site control and everything around it. Warehouse and Garage is not going to be the second site to try. And they're going to go right back to where they started. They take us to upstairs, and while we wait for them to get into the building, ladies and gentlemen, if you have missed the first couple of rounds, this is going to go up to YouTube soon after. Won't take too much time, considering this map has literally been 30 minutes. And right now, they're going to go for the even more aggressive push, as they'll have the Osa waiting. And if Maverick is to do anything here, he's going to receive a nice C4 to the face. And right now, that's exactly what we're going to see. Another TK from the C4s. There's no way you don't do that accidentally, but the stim will be waiting for him, luckily, and the Maverick will be claimed. DCAG left in a 1v3 here as he's got clamped down from the windows and the ram on kitchen hatch, but Vigil will be there to capitalize, and this is definitely looking better here for VoiD as they've capitalized 2 picks in a matter of 55 seconds. Make that 3 as Stingray will find one with the shotgun. Where the hell is he? Finds one in the sight, just swings the Osa, apparently getting very aggressive for some reason when his teammate just got C4. Next 2 on the chopping list is going to be Omerta and DZ, but Omerta's going to say, I'm not going down as easy, and he'll get one onto DCAG. Trigger finger not quick enough here for Irish, or for DZ in this case. Omerta getting one onto Trippin. Vigil using his teammate as a meat shield, but eventually not having leeway to be able to get that kill confirmed. Flash raining on in, and right now, a game of Ring Around the Rosie, but seeking asylum from that rotate previously made. 1v3 scenario with 1:20 seconds left is not impossible, but very difficult when you haven't gotten any of the breaches open and case is not in hand. EXO is open season, no mirrors to worry about, so as far as defender utility goes, you're in the best of situations right now. Kairos have been used to mask the sound of the drop, and Omerta here needs to just check the corners. Hasn't checked the man in the singular corner, and a little game of peekaboo with the mute apparently doesn't take him. And what a shot. I don't know how that doesn't claim the life of him, but he was eventually destined to meet his maker as the Goyo has him dead to rights on the flank. And that's another round for VoiD to put on their belt as they're gonna put up the scoreline to 6-3. A bunch of obstacles still left to overcome as they have 3 rounds to force it into overtime, and God's favor needs 1 to end it in regulation. Right now, we're going to be seeing, again, upstairs get unlocked. As I was going to say basement, but I remembered there's objective rotations. Upstairs has been unlocked, narrowly winning it the first time, losing it the second, and around the third. They just jumped every single operator and isolated it to be a near flawless round. This is definitely the site you want to play last on if you need to say something about losing in regulation. And right now, VoiD seeming more and more like themselves as the game goes on. As we say that, DKEG will find the head cap. That's the thermite gone again, and it's been the thermite the second time in a row to fall to a spawn peak. Seemingly just waiting here for a C4, as it will be falsely thrown at the floor. And Maverick, again, will meet his maker if he doesn't be careful. Tense moment here. You could cut them with scissors. You could see the tension. And right now, Bandit will be here to reclaim his C4. Second kill from the verticality will claim Sincere. Third goes in the favor on to DZ. That's electrical gone. Volcan Canister has done the most pressure and damage this round here. And another verticality kill is to be soon in order for either the defenders or the attackers. Buck has taken an immense amount of damage, and the Bandit completely unscathed, taking some damage, but having ran through 2 of the or the attackers in this case is a very positive benefit. He's not dead yet. Omerta getting one. Carnifex getting the next 2v3. And so far, a nice quick response here from the attackers will close it out to just 1 body. 1 minute, 18 seconds is plenty of time to make a recovery. But are you checking for the verticality that you were just fighting? Omerta here trying to get lucky with that verticality, but being low does not mix. And it looks like VoiD has closed it out. Are we going to see the greatest comeback here if they're able to do it? A seeming 6-2 was the board before they started to make this comeback. Can they hold on to it? Bandit seemingly wanting to be even more annoying, throwing in the wrench of the plans of trying to get the IT wall. Not much to do here, but bait out your kills 1 by 1 and try to isolate your ones. And right now, Bandit has completely fallen to the illusion of the breach, but Ace, a little bit of a blunder, and a C4 on his front doorstep will get shot out quickly by the P9. And right now, just having to deal with all 3 defenders just leads to your demise. No way, Jose, you're finding a kill there when every single one of them is swinging you. And that's VoiD for 4. They're here responding to every single attack coming in from God's favor, and they just need one here to end it out in regulation, keep in mind. And so far, they haven't been able to capitalize. One round is all it takes. Pretty sure that's a Dua Lipa song. But right now, we move on to Kitchen. The first time we've seen this site this game, and hopefully we'll be able to crown a victor here. But right now, with the extensive holds of VoiD, it seems like they're going to try to hang on for a little bit longer. The aggression is being the main objective and the idea for them, as it's been working out by getting the first pick, the second pick, and the third pick before God's favor has a chance to respond. Taking away the teamwork is just what has gotten them on the board and allowed them to stay in the game. Again, even more aggression, high risk, and for VoiD, it's always high reward, as they've gotten the Flores down to 1 HP. Not just the Flores, but the man at the top of the board himself, Mr. Carnifex Miller. One roamer now, very aggressive, and maybe a next if the Doc decides to go back up for the spawn peak. But right now, you're going to be seeing the man with a C4 himself. And we've seen a bunch of mist drones coming in here from God's favor, and it's only been a singular one, as they haven't even had the opportunity to find a mist drone, considering they haven't been allowed in the building until half their team is dead. Seemingly a standoff. Ying waiting to find a kill here, in Kai just trying to take the time of delay, and delay. Candela, seemingly misplaced and missed, is going to allow Cade to reacquire that position if he decides to go for it. And Ram has already assumed the verticality needed, but none of the defenders are stupid enough to walk up right in front of that. But one boogie drone isn't good enough, so she'll make it 3, and that's full verticality established, and soon to be the breach to be denied if they can find this Electroclaw, as it is literally the only piece of the map covered by a piece of soft wood. Doc here looking for the next kill, but it's just not there. But Aruni, being in the main lobby, is going to be the one waiting to get a frag here. Seemingly hearing the man drop, all you gotta do is deny the breach, and did that perfectly. You've lost a man with the ability to open up your wall, and this time you don't have a recovery hard breach. No ace. Your Flores is on 20 HP, and you cannot task him with finding the refrag. He's too low, and the case has gone down. And it seems like God's favor is being put in an absolute horrible situation here, as absolute mayhem ensues around the map. Triple kill for Stingray, and Irish assuming and making that worse, and that Stingray for a quad to make it even worse. Comeback from the heavens is in their favor, as they've managed to close it down now just to 1 round. What a recovery here from VoiD, and that's why they're a team you don't give wiggle room. We said it before. It's not impossible from them. We know, we've seen it before. And right now they're showing us exactly why they get so many wins. VoiD 5, God's favor 6, and the basement is going to be the site. Right now, God's favor has taken this site twice. All they have to do is do exactly what they were doing before. They've managed to assume control with the glass. They got their first picks, but with the awarded on the board and the amount of C4s that have been going in, they need to be careful. Even with the TKs coming in from VoiD, they've managed to still lose the rounds, which is beyond baffling. But there's always learning space. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about who takes this next round. Can we end this out in regulation? seemingly taking a note out of God's favorite textbook. They'll bring the castle. And what a sub from 5. Forgot I had that on. He actually did it. The man actually used the subscriber. Thank you, 5. I love you, bud. I'm gonna play soon. So far, we do see the Monty trying to assume control of Kitchen. But again, as I was mentioning before, a textbook play coming from God's favor, using the castle to block off those easy accessible angles. And right now, they're going to have Lounge be on absolute lockdown. Animus hatch not fully getting popped open yet, and that's exactly what you want. Keeping the Animus hatch soft allows you to mold it to your liking, but DZ finding the first pick is not going to be something to your liking. Irish finding a reflex on to Carnifex as they will trade, but right now, giving up full Lounge and vending control. Double kill here for DZ. He can capitalize, and it seems like it's all gone down here for VoiD. As this was the round, they needed to clutch and lock in. No Volcans here to deny the walk-ins, and Goyo hasn't been brought point blank. The breaches have remained closed, but apparently the shield up and the man DZ on Twitch will just allow to walk in 6 and 9, but the most impactful this round. And they need to land a C4. They need to get a refrag. Something needs to happen, but it will be to no avail. Both have been used successfully, and the Sledge is just baiting and baiting and baiting, even with the live pings directly on him. Aggression of some sort here is needed as these attackers are circling very closely. And a stalemate here coming in. A quick flick here from Triple. Managed to get the quick recovery. 2 and 8. Recovered with finding 3 bodies to force his team into overtime. Why you trippin' needs to clutch up. And right now the Monty is all by himself. But with the coverage from the Monty and the coverage from the Maverick as well, he should be able to win the round here all by himself, as the plant will seemingly go down. No jump rotate will be covered by the man on the feed holes, the man on the verticality, and it seems like this has been ended out in regulation. You need to know the man's on the breach, and the Monty just needs to do a game of dance around and just wait for the bandit to meet his demise. 1 HP, and it seems like it's soon to be 2 and 9 as this game has been ended in regulation. Shaky rounds all over coming in from God's favor, but it seems like it's all over here and now as he's been trapped up out of sight. The progressive meleeing won't do anything. By the time he gets a kill, he'll be under as quick movement here. Bandits pre-firing everything, but the man himself on the breach, you gotta recognize where the pressure is being added from. And it's God's favor to take it home in regulation. Finally, after a couple of missed rounds here, they've managed to take it home and get themselves on the board after a little bit of a scare here. And what a round that was. What a game that was. I appreciate the subs and the follows we've seen for today, but honestly, nothing to say but an absolute cinema coming in from both teams. VoiD put up the fight at the very last moment, and that's all that mattered. They took home the points, being God's favor, and a GG's to all. Well played by both sides. It wasn't a blowout, and that's exactly what we're looking for. As always, if you didn't miss this, this will go up on YouTube in about an hour and a half. Hope you guys have a great night. I have been your caster. I will be casting for the SWL later in the week, probably tomorrow or the day after. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.